This is part of our series interviewing founders of protocols on Solana, and we have here with us today the founder of DRiP.
Hello, I'm Dibu. I'm the founder of Drip House.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us today. DRiP is I don't know if you call it a website or protocol, but I've been using it
It's an app.
for I've been using it for a long time now. I remember talking to people about it. It had to be, I don't remember when you launched, but it had to be maybe 2023. I was talking to people about it because it was a cool thing that actually is like a new experience that artists can have with their fans that isn't built around speculation like most of crypto. And for people who have been watching this series of videos, the whole point of this is to talk about the real uses of crypto and how to turn from an investor to a user. And so really excited to be able to talk about DRiP House. But before I rant anymore, do you want to share a bit about uh, who you are, how you came to found this project in Web3 and what it is?
Yeah. Okay. So Drip was founded in at the end of 2022. So if you joined 2023, you were still pretty early. And initially, it was a experimental idea to send people free NFTs. It was a mailing list for NFTs, and it was built on the original NFT spec on Solana. It's quite expensive. Um, Over time, we kind of evolved this simple product into something more like what we have today, which is a full-blown kind of creator platform. And it's a way for any creative, whether they're an artist or musician or video creator, or anything else. We have lots of craftspeople on there, people that do like woodworking and pottery and what have you. It's a way for them to distribute their work to an audience of people, and crypto is kind of like laced throughout the product in a whole bunch of ways. So one is that all the payments on the product are to creators are in USDC, and so you can kind of earn from posting content on Drip, and you can earn instantaneously, which is something that's very new for content platforms. And all of your work is tokenized as well. So when you send somebody something, that end user gets to kind of keep that from you. It becomes a collectible or memento or a receipt from that creator. Over the last couple of years, we've really grown an incredible ecosystem. We have thousands of creators today. We have hundreds that join every single day to start creating on Drip, and many, many loving fans who patronize those creators, collect their work, and support their those creators' lives. Oh, and yeah, and Drip was just acquired by Jupiter. So actually, yes, I think we announced it 2 days ago, from the time of this recording.
Mhm.
So yeah, Drip is now part of Jupiter Chain, which is the biggest DEX on Solana, one of the biggest in all crypto.
Yeah, congratulations on that. So opportune timing with this. And um, can you share a little bit more about your background as a founder? Because one thing I've really liked is over the years, you've had a lot of great tweets about sort of your mentality towards creating a startup
Mm.
and the persistence required over the years with that.
Uh, yeah, I've unfortunately been a founder for like almost my entire life. I say unfortunate because you're supposed to create a company and then that's it. It becomes Facebook and then you work on Facebook for the rest of your life, right? But no, I've been a long time founder, so I've had a chance to build some really cool things um, and yeah, that's so yeah, I do yap a lot on the timeline about what's in my head at the current moment. Hopefully, I'm a good follow if you're
I think you
interested
are.
in building.
I think
Yeah.
you are. We'll link your Twitter down below this video. It's one of my favorite follows. Now, I think this was you. You had one. I don't want to put words in your mouth. A couple of years ago, something about like your friends who had stayed at Web2, big tech
Oh
companies.
gosh. Yeah.
I don't. It resonated
That's a
with
tweet I
me.
deleted.
Did you? Because it resonated with me because I have like had a lot of friends who were at Meta and stuff like that, and then well,
Yeah.
some of them ended up getting laid off. So then then I was like, oh well, it's not so bad to be self-employed because at least you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, I had a chance. Yeah, I can share the backstory of that because I had a chance to like in my previous life, like I'd sold a company to Nest, and then I'd end up working at Google through the Nest acquisition. So I'd had like a very brief time in my life where I got to see what it's like to be like a level like a mid-tier engineer, like software engineer at one of these big tech companies, and and like the amount that's I mean the earning is just totally out of whack with what you do at these big companies. Like it's absolutely absurd. Like I think a lot of things are changing now. I think some of these companies are finally waking up. But yeah, I tweeted about like there's like these my two best friends who are also software engineers by trade, and myself, we took very divergent paths in lives, and one of them has been at Apple now for I think like probably close to 15 years. And one of them stayed at Google for a long time and has kind of been like around that part of the engineering world for a while. And I'm like more of a renegade, like always like starting something. And even though I had this like amazingly high paying job at Google, um, but I'm just like I was so miserable there. I could barely last, so I ended up leaving and doing startups again. And I was mentioning that like I think the view that people have of entrepreneurs is like extremely wrong on average. Like being an entrepreneur most of the time is like you're going to be poor and you're gonna work harder than other people. And like when you really think about it, like it doesn't make that much sense because I said, my friends have multiple houses, they have vacation homes, they're in the late 30s, they've got the life that people I think that entrepreneurs have, but they actually are just like mid-level engineers at like big tech companies. And plus they work a lot less than I do, like a lot less, they don't work on weekends. Okay. And so I had tweeted about that like you probably shouldn't start a company if your goal is to get rich because that isn't the average outcome for founders.
Hmm.
That tweet went viral in not just in crypto but in tech Twitter. Like it's not one of that doesn't usually happen. It's happened a couple times. And the next, I tweeted it like probably 11 o'clock at night. I was kind of in my feels. I tweeted it. And then I woke up in the morning and had all these texts from my investors at DRiP. And I'm not going to name them, and they're like, dude, you got to delete this tweet. Like this, like you look super weak. Like this isn't what people want to hear. Are you burned out and this and that? And I was like, no, I was just reflecting. I
Oh,
just
I
had a
thought it was a
chance to
banger. I thought it was a hilarious
it
tweet.
was a banger. It was a banger. But I literally just gotten back from like hanging out with one of these friends, and I was like admiring. It. I went to go like see his second home in like the South Bay, And I was like, damn, dude, like yeah, I should have just worked on fucking some like Apple product that nobody has ever heard of. No offense to him, but like so I was kind of reflecting on that, but I ended up removing it. It's not the first time. Like I occasionally get like tweets from my investors. So like, maybe this one you could have kept in the bag. So usually my best tweets, usually my best ones are the ones that they're like,
Mhm. Oh, the best ones are you have to take a
yeah,
strong opinion on something, and it's usually unconventional opinion if you want it to do well.
yeah, yeah.
So along those lines, like, what advice would you have to someone who is a new entrepreneur who is starting a company for the first time, besides don't do it?
Don't do it for the money. Um, I don't know. I mean, if you're already at the stage where you've started, I mean, it really depends on where you're at. It depends on how old you are, what your life looks like. For me, like, or one thing I just mentioned what I've been thinking about the last couple of days, one of which is that I think the key like feature of great entrepreneurs is high availability. Like I it's just so fun. I mean, it's one of the traits I even recognize in me out at Jupiter is like the busiest people on earth are the people that respond to you the fastest. Like, and this is like uniformly true. Like, if you email Jeff Bezos at Amazon, he's gonna get back to like right away. Maybe not now. Maybe not now. He's kind of one time. But like, maybe better examples like some like Brian Chesky or some of these like founder mode, Brian Armstrong at Coinbase. Like they are in my experience, like they're responding to you in like 30 seconds or a minute. Meow the same way, right? And you would think like, oh, these people are so busy. How is that possible? Because if there's a lot of other folks that might take you days, and I'm probably one of those people for you sometimes. Like probably didn't get back to you for like a couple months on your DM. I didn't see it, but
You actually got
uh,
back to me right away originally. I just
did
wasn't ready
I?
to
Oh,
record yet.
okay.
You got back to me
Okay.
like minutes
Okay.
later.
Yeah, so I think like high availability is like one of those things that's very important and like um but like how you like in order to achieve that you need to like think deeply about how you structure your life around building your company. And so for me that's like and I've really, after a long time of doing this, I've been able um to build the structure around myself that includes, in this case, I have a family, I have kids. That's everything from like where we live, to the care that we have at home, to just having that structure, so that you can be there, sometimes 24 hours a day for things that are important. That doesn't mean, this is like something you only learn with time, but like that doesn't mean high availability doesn't mean you're always working, like doing something. Like you're always working, but you're not always doing something, because a lot of the for me, like having a little bit of space to think about, um, and process what's happening with the business, is very important. And then, being available to solve problems. You're always on your product. You're always looking at things when something's broken, never letting it kind of linger for too long. I think that's probably my advice is like optimize your life for high availability. If you can't do that, it's just something to work on, Um, so I don't know. That's one thought. There's a million. We could have this conversation for days, but
Hmm.
that's my most recent thought.
Yeah, no, that's valuable to me. That's something I desperately need to work on. But to the original topic of the interview, drip. So for artists, and I guess this is a little bit of a pivot, but for artists and for users, what's the elevator pitch for like why to use drip, and then where should they go to get started?
Right. So, if you're a creator, uh, especially a crypto creator, Drip is really unique. It allows you to, first of all, it's free. So unlike other crypto creating products, totally free. Um, and we kind of like to compare ourselves to the subscription-based direct monetization platforms like Patreon. Um, Most of the creator monetization world is either free, entirely free, and you don't make money from it. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., TikTok, or it's subscription based. So someone pays me $5 a month, I send them content on a regular basis. Drip kind of sits in the middle of those. So we think of Drip as anti-subscription platform. It's a place where you can create work whenever you want, whenever you're inspired to do so. And we've built mechanics around monetizing each piece of work that you're going to put out there. So whether that's, the most popular thing on our site is our leaderboard mechanic and our snapshot. So say you have a podcast that's about to come out, it's coming out on Friday. You set a timer, counts down on your page, and people can donate in advance of that to receive a copy of the podcast, for example, be able to listen to it. Or it's an auction, and soon we're rolling out Buy It Now, which is our storefront product. These are ways to sell your content or make money from your content, or whatever you do, uh, on your own time and on your own schedule of creating those things. Um, so that's kind of like the high level pitch I would say for Drip today. On the user side, very similar. People hate subscriptions, and being able to, not only to, so I think, yeah, there's two pieces. One is, um, Drip is much lighter on your wallet relative to other creator monetization products. It is like you can donate or receive content for as little as 1 cent. Um, if you're in the fiat world, I mean, I don't know, you won't really find anything on the internet for less than a couple dollars because of credit card fees and things like that. So Drip is ultra affordable. Um, and it's more fun. I think the all the gamification that we've been able to add, kind of like adds more than just the content to your experience. You also, it's just kind of fun to like find out what's new, what's coming, what artists are making, what creators are making, and uh, And lastly, the on-chain aspect, the fact that everything that you um, get from a creator is tokenized, it's yours to keep, means that there's some default value there to everything that you're getting from a creator. You're getting digital assets from them. So it's not just a, throwing money into a black hole. You're getting a real asset out of that relationship that you build with the creator.
I love it. And yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about earlier with why Drip first stood out to me when I encountered it was how it's actually creating a new unique experience in the interaction between the creator and the community member that was something I had never had anywhere else before. So I like that both as a user and then I create content elsewhere, but was not I'm not an artist, so I never
Are you gonna put your podcast onto Drip?
I could actually. No, I didn't truthfully I thought it was more for artwork, but
We have a lot of amazing
there's
crypto podcasts
a lot
on.
of crypto podcasts. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean that would be
Drip.house/creators. Yeah, I think only as of like a month ago, we opened up signups to everybody. So you can now sign up for free. There's no even approval necessary. You can
mhm.
onboard yourself and start sending NFTs for free. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that sounds like I mean, at a minimum, I'll have to put this whole Solana series on there.
Hmm.
And no, that's phenomenal. And then I guess last thing I want to touch on is the Jupiter acquisition. So huge news this week. Again, congratulations. What's
Thanks.
the Jupiter we had covered in the first part of this series about how to use Jupiter. But for people who are watching, what's the what's the collaboration they're gonna look like, and why is it a good fit?
Yeah, so Jupiter today is a DeFi exchange. It's focused only on Solana. So the most popular way that people trade um, Sol USDC or any meme coin on Solana. Why do people use Jupiter? Is it helps you find the best price for an asset. So they kind of crawl all the order books, all the dexes in real time when you're about to buy something, and they find you the best price, kind of like Lending Tree, if you're familiar with that from Web 2 and Web 3. Jupiter as that's kind of the core product is trading swaps. They also do limit orders. They do dollar cost average. They have perps. They have a number of. It's a very expansive set of products. But one thing they don't have is NFTs. They don't offer a way to buy or trade those or to sell them. And so yeah, we started talking about how we could bring NFTs into the Jupiter Exchange universe. Jupiter's like mission statement, kind of more broadly, is to aggregate everything that's tradable. So although they kind of started with Solana tokens, I think the mission over the next, and this can be maybe their forever mission is to let you trade anything for anything. And so, I think they announced in January that they're building JupeNet, which is um, a new piece of technology that lets you trade tokens from other blockchains with each other without bridging. They are Meow has mentioned this idea of gum, which is potentially bringing like stocks on chain, other like liquid assets like that. And NFTs are still one of the most beloved crypto native asset classes that we have. So I think under the theory of aggregating everything, NFTs make a ton of sense, and they have a lot of close ties to meme coins and the kind of existing business of Jupiter. So Drip is going to be like bringing NFTs into many of the core Jupiter products, and Drip's going to be its brand as well for NFTs more broadly. And then one of my pet projects is Jupiter Mobile, which is an amazing. It's the Jupiter app, and it's a really good app. It's not like a Jupiter WebView like packaged into thing. We've built from the ground up to be the best trading experience on Solana. Also doesn't have NFTs, so we are bringing NFTs in a very very unique and cool way into Jupiter Mobile. That already started yesterday. We pushed the first update to add Drip into the picture. So yeah, lots more to come there. It was a pretty big announcement. Like it was um, and quite a long time in the making. I think when you first texted me, um, we were like back in January. Like I think we signed the term sheet with Jupiter like a couple days after you messaged me back in January.
Oh,
So
wow.
we've been working on this for a long time and waiting to announce this for a while, and it's kind of gotten like delayed and delayed. But yeah, the news is finally out, and yeah, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff there. So
Awesome. Congratulations. Any final
thanks.
things you want to share with people before we call it a podcast?
I think so. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. And for people who want to follow you, what are the best links?
I'm just on x.com/VIBHU. And yeah, and DRiP is at DRiP_HAUS or at DRiP on Twitter. We also have.
Perfect. Thank you again.